Today on the Bitcoin 5, Washington is moving again on the Bitcoin Clarity Act, and the timing could not be more important. With markets volatile, the real story isn't just regulation, it's whether Bitcoin is about to get a much clearer place inside the US financial system. Let's go. Before the stories, the Bitcoin price check. Current price, about $59,300. Bitcoin has shed nearly 19% over the past 4 weeks, dropping from about $73,200 to its current level, the sharpest decline across any time frame measured. The sell-off brought BTC briefly below $58,100, marking a cycle low and triggering $1.2 billion in liquidations. Story 5. Asian markets hemorrhage. Over $1 trillion as AI chip costs, Asian equity markets experienced a catastrophic sell-off, with over $1 trillion in value evaporating in a matter of hours. South Korea's Kospi plunged 8.2%, erasing $340 billion, while Japan's Nikkei dropped 4.5%, wiping out $355 billion. China's SSE fell 2.1%, losing $229 billion, and Taiwan's market shed $127 billion. The catalyst? Story 4. US GDP final estimate beats expectations as economic growth accelerates. The US economy delivered a surprise beat, with Q1 GDP's final estimate coming in at 2.1%, significantly exceeding the 1.6% expectation. The upward revision signals that economic growth is accelerating rather than slowing, complicating the Federal Reserve's calculus on interest rate policy. Stronger GDP growth typically supports the case for maintaining higher interest rates for longer, as it suggests the economy can withstand tighter monetary conditions without tipping into recession. The broader point is not the headline alone, but what it tells us about Bitcoin's place in the financial system. Story 3. MicroStrategy stock plummeted 24% this week, breaking below the $100 level it had held for 830 consecutive days. The support level, which held through every correction since the Bitcoin Spot ETF launched in January 2024, finally gave way as MSTR traded at $85 in after-hours trading, down 84% from its peak. The correlation between MSTR and Bitcoin remains intact, but amplified. Since the ETF launch, MSTR surged 1,129%, while Bitcoin climbed 225% to its all-time high. For Bitcoin, the signal is that corporate balance sheet adoption is becoming more deliberate, more liquid, and more institutional. Story 2. Bitcoin hit a new cycle low of $58,100 during a brutal 24-hour period that saw $1.2 billion in long positions liquidated. The drawdown pushed Bitcoin below its 200-week moving average for the first time in years, a technical level that has historically marked major bear market bottoms. The sell-off was swift and merciless, catching leveraged traders off guard and forcing mass liquidations that accelerated the decline. BlackRock's Spot Bitcoin ETF reportedly sold $265 million worth of Bitcoin, adding to selling pressure as institutional flows turned negative. Story 1. White House signals renewed urgency on Bitcoin. Clarity Act. A White House reporter indicated there's renewed urgency to pass the Bitcoin Clarity Act, with senators reportedly pushing for movement on the legislation. The act aims to provide regulatory clarity around Bitcoin's treatment under US law, potentially addressing long-standing questions about custody, taxation, and institutional adoption. The timing is notable given the current market volatility. The broader point is not the headline alone, but what it tells us about Bitcoin's place in the financial system. That's today's Bitcoin 5. Let me know your favourite story from today in the comments below, and subscribe now so tomorrow's update lands directly in your feed. I'll see you tomorrow.